In much better news today, West Virginia beat Maryland in a secret scrimmage. And they beat them handily. And Honor Huff and Trey Eaglestaff absolutely shooting the cover off of the ball. Let's talk about the big win.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Okay, love you, bye. Sorry, guys, that was an emergency. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. This is Locked On West Virginia. Thank you guys so much for joining in on another episode of the show as we dive into the basketball season now. And man, are we all glad to kind of be talking basketball after what we experienced today? I think so. Let's dive into FanDuel first, guys. Right now with FanDuel, if you just go to FanDuel, bet $5. If your bet wins, $300 in bonus bets is coming to you to use across the app. Download the FanDuel app today, please. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first or your second listen since you're back, and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where we talk about your team every single day, known as the Mountaineers. Obviously, it's been a rough day football-wise. Football is the lifeblood of our program, of our state, of our university. We all know that. But basketball, I think is a close second for a lot of us that love the sport of basketball. And, this news today it helps. Best way to put it, I think it helps. Obviously, you're going to take this with a grain of salt, everything I say, right? I'm going to do a fun segment where we overreact and underreact. But overall, I'm going to try to react appropriately with a grain of salt to this victory. So if you're not familiar, West Virginia and Maryland played in a secret scrimmage that was not so secret. It was actually filmed and everything. The stats came out for the game, obviously, and that's the part that got people excited, as the dynamic duo of Trey Eaglestaff and Honor Huff went absolutely bonkers. I'm talking about Golden State Warriors bonkers from three, which is kind of what they built this team to do, right? And so it's not a shock, I'll say that much for sure. 95-73, West Virginia wins by double figures. That's 22 points, right? Pretty good. Honor Huff, 32 points in this game, guys. 10 of 18 behind the arc. Trey Eaglestaff had multiple threes and 22 points as well. I'm also told that Chance Moore played well in this game, as did Harlan Obioha, and really controlled the boards at times in this game against the Maryland team that really wants to get after it. So, hey, that's big news for the West Virginia Mountaineers and this team coming up this year. So I really wasn't sure how they were going to deal with the Buzz Williams-led team that, while they're in their first year, and it was a wonky kind of way that he got that job, considering that Willard and we weren't sure if he was going to stay or go. He ends up going into Villanova late, and kind of late in the year. But Buzz Williams comes in from Maryland, and you would assume they had a pretty good class. I haven't really followed them closely enough to know. But one thing we know about Buzz Williams is they play tough defense, they rebound, and the like. But I just have one thing to say to Buzz Williams, and if you're listening, you won't see this, but oh yeah, baby, you know how he danced on our logo. Thank you, Buzz Williams, for the big dub, baby. This little string's driving me crazy. Okay. Let's overreact and underreact, and then we'll go watch the film in the next segment. It's the best way to do this. Obviously, actually, a couple other things really quick. So Honor Huff's shooting percentage, 55.6 on 18 three-point shots. Said he scored at all three levels and was really good in this game. Trey Eaglestaff had multiple threes, and it was an explosive score in this game. Jasper Floyd also had 9 assists in this game to go along with 11 points. That's pretty crazy stuff, man. I forgot about Jasper's role in the game. I think that pretty much eliminates any and all suspicion that maybe he's coming off the bench this year, right? We saw some video last week where Hunter Huff was kind of rolling with the ones, and I think some people may have jumped to conclusions, or at least speculating that maybe he's coming off the bench, which would be good. He could be a microwave type player, but I think Jasper is probably going to prove too valuable to this year's team to come off the bench. So certainly a big time deal there. And 39 3-point attempts for West Virginia. That's analytics all the way, right? I think you can pretty much chalk that up to analytics. That's an analytics friendly approach. I think it's probably going to carry over, and we can continue this efficiency in the Big 12. We'll be right there, to have a good finish and get into the tournament and all that. Are we going to win the league? No, I don't say that, but I do think that it means that, here's the 3 takeaways. Let me do my over and under reaction, then I'll give you my actual takeaways. So here's my overreaction to this. So my overreaction is Honor Huff's going to lead the Big 12 in scoring. Trey Eaglestaff is going to be first team all league. And I missed one that I had thought of earlier. Brendan Lawrence going to be a first team all defensive lit team, and West Virginia is going to finish top 3 in the league, right? That's my overreaction for this. My underreaction is Maryland, they're just replacing, everything just like we are. It's a secret scrimmage. Who knows how many starters they've even played, if any, if there had any injuries we don't know about. They could have been repping, because the way secret scrimmages work, or if you don't know, it's kind of agreed upon terms between the 2 coaches, right? Especially if they have a good relationship. You'll come in the same, similar to a scrimmage, or not a scrimmage, but like the spring game, right? You have agreed upon terms kind of how you're going to do it. So let's say you want to do some out of bounds, or, out of bounds clock under 7 seconds, or out of bounds clock under 2 seconds, out of bounds clock under 5 seconds. You work all these different things. You work half court, you work transition, and then you do play as well. But so it's just hard to say how much of this was scripted out, or if they just said threw the ball, tipped it up, and said, hey, just go play ball. I don't know. I mean, based on some of the highlights we're getting, that's looking like what they did, but they also could have done other things outside of that, right? And what happens is when you're experimenting, you're working guys that maybe wouldn't play as much as usual. And so, obviously you can't take as much stock in the score as you would like. So my underreaction is West Virginia is really not that good. It's just that was a secret scrimmage, and there's really no stock to be put in it. That's my underreaction. My actual reaction is these are my takeaways for the game. I think it validates the portal hauls we brought in. I think Huff and Eaglestaff are going to be sniper threats for this team. I think Floyd is a steady point guard. I think, the bench that we have is going to be better than people think. I'm not saying it's going to be great or elite, but I do think it's going to be better than people have thought so far. And a 19-point margin is significant. I think it signals a little bit of cohesion, right? Especially after a tumultuous offseason, after all these coaching changes. I mean, it's just we're used to this now. So I think this is a better team than we've had to start a season so far, and maybe about as good as we were last year, if not a little better. I'm guessing somewhere in that range of 18 to 21 wins is what it feels like, right? Could be better, but we'll have to see. Who knows what Maryland did, and there's obviously the fouls as well. That Ross Hodge made that great point. They beat SMU, but one of their starters had 11 fouls in the game. So, obviously you can't really pay a ton of attention. The stat you can't pay attention to is 39 3-point attempts. That's when you can. Big picture, I think it's a competent start. It was in the Coliseum, newly labeled Coliseum. And we got 17 days till tip, baby. Right? So let's get this thing rolling. And I think we're a bubble, maybe mid-tier where we're getting in the tournament Big 12 team for now until for further notice. I think that's a fair take. And look, if our transfers gel, I think we could be much better than the experts think. But I don't want to go there yet until we played a couple games, right? So let's go to break here. West Virginia put out some video of this game, and I got a lot of takes, man. I am so excited about what I saw today. Next. This episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by DoorDash. Guys, it's that time again. It's time to look back and crown this week's MVP on Who Delivered, powered by DoorDash. And just like you can win every Saturday with DoorDash Streaks, saving more every time you order, today, these players delivered when it mattered most. Let's break it down. For West Virginia, Honor Huff delivered in a big way. Obviously, 10 3-point shots made today out of 18, 55% from behind the arc is amazing. When the pressure was on, he came through, no hesitation, no delay. And if you've been watching him week after week, this performance was not a fluke. He led college basketball in threes last year. Honor Huff continues to be on a 3-point streak. And just like Honor delivered for West Virginia, DoorDash delivers your Saturdays with DoorDash Streaks. You save every time you order on Saturday, stacking up all season, and you can save up to $250 in bonus bets and then 100 in DoorDash credits as well. Order this Saturday, keep the streak alive, and fuel your game day where the terms apply only with DoorDash. Promo code through 11/18. And, of course, where would we be without SupplyHouse, our buddies at SupplyHouse? When the opening whistle blows on a new repair, get your crew moving forward with SupplyHouse. 280,000 plumbing, HVAC, and electrical items are here for you, and it could be on your doorstep tomorrow for the most trusted brands in the business. Their real-time inventory and honest lead times keep you from punting projects, while their industry-leading customer service always has your blind side covered. Need parts fast for a project? SupplyHouse says next day delivery. Talk about a game changer. Join the free Trade Master program today and score serious perks like priority shipping, lower prices, and a dedicated support line. Visit supplyhouse.com to sign up for free and use promo code SHCOLLEGE5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com, where you can find real people and get real service. In segment 2, we crack a diet do. I think it's crackable for this one. And let's jump through to some tape and see what the boys look like today. Because, man, it was exciting when I saw this pop up earlier. I had no clue they were going to film this today, but I am glad that they did. So the caption is, "Did our thing today." And I want to see if there's anything else posted besides this. Oh, yeah, they put this up as well. They took pictures today. I got to turn the sound off, unfortunately. But, yeah, they took some pictures earlier today, it looks like, for the season. So they got sparks flying. They got cheerleaders clapping. Looks like they got staff members down there probably clapping as they film the players. You know how they've got those little montages and different things they do. So, anyways, just wanted to show you that really quick. But this is what you're here for. This is the West Virginia basketball team today versus Maryland in a secret scrimmage. Let's go. Eaglestaff 3. Let me make sure I got this right here. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry. We'll probably be pausing this a couple times because so we know that's Amir Jenkins right there shooting the ball. So did he make a 3 right here? Oops. No, he passed it down inside. Oh, no, that's not Amir Jenkins. I'm sorry, guys. We're in the yellow, huh? It was the number 2 that threw me off. So that is Lorient. I think, is that Lorient number 5? Make sure. No, that's DJ Thomas. So that's DJ Thomas guarding one of the starting bigs for Maryland, or at least you would assume one of the starting bigs. And the combination of Thomas and Eaglestaff disrupted this play and caused a steal where Eaglestaff's out in transition. And then you get an Honor Huff 3 splash. And there's a block by, who is this? Trying to figure out who that is right there. Is that also DJ Thomas, or I know I'm trying to get too technical probably for anybody, but I think that's DJ Thomas as well. And then you've got another 3 from Honor Huff. Then you got is that Amir Jenkins passing that ball, or Amir or Honor Huff? Can't tell. I believe that was, make sure. That is number 13. That's Chance Moore for 3. So that's Chance Moore shooting that 3 there. Just trying to get a feel for what everybody looks like, right? Because we haven't really seen them yet. And it's hard to see their numbers, but that's 13. So this is Chance Moore's 3. And for those of you listening, I'm trying to do the best I can. Here's Eaglestaff shooting a God. Watch how this. I remember this one. Watch how the ball goes to the hoop for Eaglestaff. I mean, it barely even hits the net. It's so perfect. Whew. Jasper for 3. Bam. And then look at this block by Brandon Lorient, guys. I mean, his wrist up to his forearm. He's a foot above the rim, right? I mean, it's not even a joke to even say that. Let's watch the full play. Nice. So there's Jasper, or is that Jasper, or who is that right there? Yeah, that's Jasper getting in trouble, kicking it out, and there's Huff again. Bang, another 3. He's going to be dangerous this year, guys. There's, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. So there's Huff again for 3. And then on this next play, you've got Chance Moore kicking it out to Eaglestaff for 3. Bam. Nice. And then you got Jasper kicking it back over to Eaglestaff for another 3. Bam. Now you got OVO high inside over his left shoulder. Now you've got, there he is again. There he is, the best 3-point shooter in the country, Honor Huff. Bam. 10 threes today. And then you got, that's Brendan Lorient for 3. Bam. Jasper kicking it out. Eaglestaff 3. Bam. I mean, it can't get no better. Let's watch it through one more quick time, guys. Eaglestaff 3. Then you got an Eaglestaff and DJ Thomas steal out to Honor Huff 3. Yes. You've got a DJ Thomas block, an Honor Huff 3. Oh, God. And then is that Honor Huff with the ball in his hands right here too? I believe it is. Yeah, that's all. So Honor Huff's not only is he cooking dudes. Look at this. Because he's so good at shooting the ball, look at the 3-point line. It's right here. They got this 6'7" kid out on him. I mean, look how big this guy is. Look how much in a stance he's got to get in. And look at Honor Huff just absolutely blow by him. And then that leaves Brennan wide open to tear the rim down. It's impressive. Chance Moore 3. Bam. Eaglestaff 3. Bam. Jasper 3. Bam. This team's going to be fun to watch this year, guys. I don't know how good we're going to be or not, but I mean, shoo. You know, it's going to be something else, man. And like we've got, we've got two really good offensive players, better than we've had outside of Javon Small in a long time. This is going to be really fun this year, y'all. I can't wait. I know you guys can't wait either. But man, just how lucky are we to be able to watch this team play this year? Hopefully, they're better than last year's team. Hopefully they get to 20 or 21 wins, or maybe even more. But I think that's right. There's probably your starting five, right? Let's see. That's Jasper. That's Obioha. That's Lorient. That's Eaglestaff. That's Jasper, and that's Honor. Those are your starters right there. So Jasper Floyd, which is what we've all expected, but Jasper Floyd, Honor Huff at the 2, Trey Eaglestaff at the 3, Brennan Lorient at the 4, and it looks like Obioha at the 5. It's a pretty good starting 5, I say. I'll take it. I'll take it. And then let's go back and watch from the other day. This released from Honor Huff. I want to say, I don't know if it's on this page or not. No, it's not. God, could you imagine we have had Javon back this year? Holy cow, man. What an amazing performance that would be. But okay, I'll have to type in Honor Huff here. All right. Yeah, here it is from the other day. Here it is from the other day. Honor shooting a couple threes. Just to give you an idea when he was at practice. I mean, you see how quick that is, guys. This is that same move we just saw against Maryland. He's out here by the logo, and they have to guard him out that far because he's that good, right? He's that dangerous. Do you know what kind of spacing that gives you? So if you've got a guy like Amir Jenkins, who's really quick and crafty with it out there with Huff, or even Lorient, who's pretty quick, or even Eaglestaff, who can cut well, or Chance Moore. These guys all can cut to the basket. So look at the spacing that this creates. When you've got a guy like Honor Huff who can shoot it from the logo, and then when you get up in his mouth, look at this move here. Look how quick this move is, and he goes in his left hand as well because he likes to get to that left-handed step back, right? He said it himself. But look at just how quick he is off the first step. I mean, that's really quick. And I mean, just the footwork, guys, it's elite. And it's not even hard to say it's the best in college basketball, right? He led the college basketball in threes last year. I think he'll have a chance to eclipse that this year because they're going to let him. It's a spin move, and then it's a step back. But it's a step back on the opposite side that you're comfortable. This is a left-footed step back, which means you have to rotate just a little bit to get this off, right? And he's the equivalent of, in my opinion, he's the equivalent of an off-platform thrower at quarterback, like Mahomes or somebody who doesn't have to have everything just right to make their shot. Some people have to get set and then shoot it. And then there's other people like Kobe Bryant who can they can have their hips pointed this way, feet pointed this way. As long as they get up in the air, they'll square themselves in the air and crank that thing. That's kind of how Huff is. And you can see here, I mean, he's spinning, he's stepping it back out. And a lot of people say this is a travel, but it's really not in these day and age. You get a spin, there's the dribble. He keeps his dribble alive. Now he had to gather step, and that's how it works in today's age. So after that dribble, there's your jump step, and there's your back step. It's just the way they allow it to happen now, Maybe back in the 80s or 90s, that's a travel, but it's not anymore. James Harden made sure to that. So this should be the meme we all have for right now, man. 200 plus 3-pointers made, sorted by jumper effective field goal percentage. And Honor Huff's there at 61%. Then there's a significant gap after that. Tyler Lundblade from Belmont. Gee, many Christmas, 71%. That's crazy, man. And then here he is. Here's some of his Belmont highlights as well.
For three. He hit. Huff, the step back from three. Honor Huff will fire.
It's his best friend, and they all regrouped with Coach Earl in Chattanooga. Look at.
He's so smooth with it, guys. We're very lucky to have him. I can't believe we got him. Like, there was actually a point in time where I didn't think we were going to get him, but we did, and that's really all that matters. So we're lucky to have the kid, and he's a grown man, but this basketball team's got a shot to be pretty good. I mean, like I said, I don't want to overreact to secret scrimmage, but I think we got a shot to be pretty good. So, all right, let's jump into another break really quick, and then we'll put a bow on this one after the break. Be right back. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by our good friends at Rugiet. Yeah, that's right. We're talking about Rugiet again. Do you want to get Rugiet ready, or do you want to be Rugiet Go? That's fine. You can if you want to, because what do you get when you have a bald eagle sitting on top of a silverback gorilla riding a T-Rex? You get pure confidence. If you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to make Rugiet go long. Guys, like I told you, there's exactly one reason Rugiet comes in here. It's not just another ED pill. It's a total game changer for confidence. Go Long combines 2 doctor-trusted medications in one dual-action formula so you can go hard and go the distance. If you're ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom, head to Rugiet.com and use promo code LOCKEDONCollege to get 15% off your first order. That's RUGIET.com, promo code LOCKEDONCollege, and make sure you use our code so they know we sent you. And then last but not least, guys, we have our friends at FanDuel. Right now on FanDuel, it's pretty simple. Right now, new customers get $5 and make you holler. $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. You pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Right now, whether you're a casual fan or love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day so much better for you. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the damn FanDuel app today and get started. All right, guys, we are back here, Locked On West Virginia in segment 3. I am so appreciative of you guys for being awesome. I will say this. This basketball team had me feeling so good today off that performance from football. I needed it. I just needed something to be hopeful in. Can you imagine if we had another season like this football season coming in basketball where there was no hope and we knew it? Well, at least for right now, we can't say that. For now, we can't say that there's no hope in basketball. Maybe it gets to that point too, but I don't feel that. I feel like there's some momentum there. We have some deficiencies, so that's why I say, 19, 20 wins. But, man, it would be so fun if we were better, if we just had one good season. We've been suffering. I mean, is there a curse? Guys, we've been suffering. Well, I mean, it's literally 4 coaches in 4 years in basketball. We had 6 years, and now we're in year 7 of football. It's unbelievable that we've gotten to this point. I mean, it's shocking, to be honest, that our athletic department is so down in the dumps in the 2 major sports. At least up until now. Maybe the basketball team turns it around, like I said, but I just can't believe our football team is where it's at right now. I do feel okay about it going forward, and I guess I'll finish on that thought. I asked a bunch of you guys to answer the question in chat in the comments about the $5 million. Did a lot of you guys answer that? Did you? And if you didn't hear the question, I'll ask it again. The $5 million in football, in your opinion, should it have been spent this year or next year? Because we can technically spend the $5 million they didn't spend on this year's roster next year, as long as we do it before the fiscal year ends. So it's kind of a cheat code where you can use it before you technically lose it, right? So I'm just curious how some of you guys feel about that. Because could 5 million have made the difference on this team? I mean, you could have gotten an elite quarterback and a very good offensive line for that. You could have got an elite offensive line and some defensive pieces for that. Hell, you could go get 5 $1 million players. Do $5 million players make a difference on this team? I don't know. I've heard some people say there weren't any out there, that they got the job so late that the reason we have 5 million left over is because there was nobody worth investing in. Well, I'll be honest with you guys. I saw with my own two peepers, I saw the Louisville offensive lineman, what was his name? I have to go back and look, the transfer to Virginia. Hold on. Let's see. His name was Monroe Mills. Monroe Mills transferred from Louisville to Virginia, right? And I remember at the time, Will Reed was coming here. And I had been told that Monroe Mills, we had poked around there, but ultimately didn't do it. And Will Reed hit me up at the time, actually. I might have that message now that he's no longer with us. It doesn't matter if I show it now, does it? But let me see if I still have it. I'll have to check and see. All right. So looks like I do not. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So anyway, Monroe Mills was obviously one of the best linemen in the country in the ACC last year. He was available. You think he would have came here over Virginia? I would say probably, maybe. You think there was a chance anyway, right? I don't know. I mean, what's so good about Virginia? West Virginia better than Virginia last I checked, you would think. But apparently not this year. I mean, Virginia's good, but it's because they went out and got good players. I don't know. I think Rich Rod realized that you got to have 2 years of decent players coming back for there to be any hope. And I think they're kind of hoping on the Robbie Martins, the Malik Ogbos, and some of these other guys that are on the bench this year to grow into something next year to where you can play them. But overall, it's like, does that really work? I don't know. Hoping so, but I don't know, man. I guess, guys, I want to believe that football can turn it around and everything. It's just because we lose so many players, it's hard for me to believe that we're not going to have I think we'll be better next year. But, is it really going to be a slow grind, 3 years? Is it really going to take 3? I was really hoping we could turn around in 2 and just win 8 or 9 games in year 2. It doesn't have to be a championship. But the way it's looking, we lose 50 players off of this year's team. And I don't know how many you want to keep based off how things have gone. If they can't win against the guys that are playing, especially O-line, I don't know. Obviously Robbie Martin and some of those guys just aren't big enough to play yet, but I do think they have potential in the future. But yeah, so I guess my big concern is, are we just going to repeat this year, next year, but with more money? If we bring in 81 guys and they're all really good, does that change? I guess it does to an extent. You could definitely be better, but you got to have some continuity back somewhere, and we lose all 11 starters on defense. like if I'm Rich Rod, every young guy in the program plays significant snaps the rest of the way and gets starts. I think at this point you have to start playing for next year. You're not going to win the league, and you're probably not going to a bowl game. So the extra months you're going to get prepping for both bowl game that would help these young guys are not going to happen now, right? You got to win out for that to happen or close to it. I think you can lose one down the stretch. So if that's the case, I think you got to start starting young guys and seeing what you got now. You know, you start Robbie Martin a couple games and get through some growing pains, so it's not so bad next year for him. Yeah, and maybe that ruins somebody's confidence, and I don't know what I'm talking about. That's possible. I'm just spitballing out of frustration here. You know, but like, what about on defense? I mean, what is the plan? If all 11 starters on defense are gone, somebody explain that to me, man. Right? Let me look up the depth chart really quick before we jump out of here. Okay, so on defense, Eddie Kelly Jr. is a senior. Hammond Russell's a redshirt senior. Eddie Vesterinen is a senior. Braden Siders is a senior. Chase Wilson is a senior. Reed Carrico is a senior. Michael Coates is a senior. Darren Lewis is a senior. Kakor Tarnu is a senior. Jason Chambers is a senior. Brett Perry's a senior. Devin Grant's a senior. Jordan Scruggs is a senior. Justin Harrington's a senior. Ty Crutcher's a senior. This defense is a total miss. Not only have you missed on a bunch of guys, but you're replacing them anyway. I mean, that's worrisome, to say the least, right? I mean, I think it's fair to say that. I mean, who are their backups, right? Like, I mean, sure, you can look at that. Like Eddie Kelly, you have no backup to Eddie Kelly in the two deep anyway. Hammond Russell, you've got Nate Gabriel. Eddie V, you've got Asani Redwood, who will be back next year. Curtis Jones will be back next year, and that's probably better than Siders. So I guess that's one starter, technically, if you want to consider Curtis Jones. Ben Cutter can play next year. I mean, but do you want a guy like that who is slower, very good inside the box player? Obviously, Ben Bogle will come back next year. Jordan Scruggs is gone. Harrington's gone. Israel Boyce will be back. Ty Crutcher's gone. Filippo's a freshman. I don't even know why he was in the starting lineup to begin the year. He never even played a snap, did he? Some of that don't make any sense. Ashton Woods will be back. He's a big-time player. You know, and that's it, man. Like, your defense is done. So you're going to spend $10 million on the defense for it to be good. Legitimately. I don't even think that's – if you want an elite defense and you have to replace all 11 of your starters, I think you have to get close to probably $8 or $10 million. Maybe I'm crazy. So, anyways, basketball team won. That was great. I'm glad we did. We covered all that. If you're just getting here, we're 40 minutes in. We covered the basketball team winning. We watched the video of the game. We talked about Honor Huff and everybody and how great they looked. But I got to roll, guys. I've got somebody that's coming over to pick me up, and we're going to do a couple things. But I thank you so much for being here. And I will be back either tonight or tomorrow. Just depends on if I have time to record when I get back. But I'm going to go grab some groceries. Guys, it's going to have better days ahead. Basketball season's 2 weeks away. We'll see what happens when that tips off. I'll be covering it every day of the week like always. Consistency is key, even when it's bad, right? Just remember, ask yourself, how many people didn't record or do something today because we lost? I'm here no matter what. And that's because I love y'all as a community, even if some of y'all don't like me. And I also love West Virginia, right? So hopefully that matters to you and you continue to choose us here as I poured my entire life, heart, and soul into this channel. And I have. Good night, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And hopefully it gets a little better. Good night.